Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jamar Dunson here with more Browns news. So, apparently, we shipped Joe Flacco to the Bengals for a fifth round pick. We also gave the Bengals a sixth round pick in return. So, what this tells me basically is that the GM or the owner, Jimmy Haslam, or both have decided that they're done with the mediocrity on the offense. They're done with failing to score more than 17 points a game. I think the average points per game is like 23 points, 21, and we can't even hit 20. So they decided they're done with that, and they decided to send Joe Flacco in a new direction, and they decided to send this team in a new direction. So this tells me, as far as the quarterbacks go, I know Bailey Zappi's on the practice squad, but he does not have a shot. Deshaun's still physically unable to perform. He's still on the PUP list. So this is like a competition between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And personally, I'm excited for it because now this shows that, to me, that Kevin has to change something in the offense. We got to get more points on the board. We have to have more explosive plays. We have to have longer drives that sustain the offense and keep the defense rested and off the field so they don't get gassed as often, because the defense is still really good, one of the best in the league. But that drive we had in Minnesota, well, in London against Minnesota, where they had the ball in the fourth with like 3 minutes and some change left, I think they did 2 runs in a play action pass. And my thing is, why not just hammer it with Quinshawn like I've been doing all game? These past few games, he's gotten like between 80 to 100, 110 yards a game now. You know, the running game is starting to come alive. We need this passing game to complement the offense. Now, I think if you get a new quarterback in there, Dylan's only had 1 game, and he played solid. I wouldn't say well. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. I would say I would give him like a C- on the A to F scale, or maybe a C plus. C plus. He played above average. He didn't turn the ball over, but he missed some throws that were beyond 20 yards. His accuracy was just nowhere near the targets. You could say that's because of his height, but what this tells me is that although we need to get the left tackle situated and we do need some more wide receivers in here to get more playmakers going, I do believe that now that it's just Shedeur and Dylan, it's one of the rookies' time to shine. All the other rookies have been doing relatively well. Quinshawn, I already said he's been balling out, and he wasn't even here the first 2 weeks of the season, I believe. Dylan Sampson's been doing pretty well. I wish we would see more of him in the offense, because he had like 8 catches out of 8 targets against the Bengals, and he ran the ball solid as well. Isaiah Bond, I'm not sure if he's dropped the pass yet, but he's been like the most reliable receiver. Harold Fanning Jr., he had, I think, a few drops against the the Lions, but, you know, he caught a touchdown against the Vikings in London, and he's been pretty good for the most part as well. Schwarzenegger's been all over the field. Mason Graham's been helping the line sustain on the running game and get more pressure. It's not just Myles Garrett anymore. The free agents that we brought over, Collins, and people that we signed from the past, like Alex Wright, they've been getting sacks now and making their presence felt on the offense. Devin Bush has been doing his thing as a trading receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think another team as well. He's been doing his thing. So I think now it's time for the offense to finally wake up and do something and come, you know, make more plays and sustain more drives and just, you know, get more points on the board. 17 points on the board a game is inexcusable, especially in today's NFL, where you see the Cowboys putting up 40 points despite being 2-2-1. Their offense is going perfectly, and they don't even have their number 1 receiver. Even the Tennessee Titans, whose offense has been bad for the most part, they've managed to get more than 20 points on the board. I think we're the least effective offense in the league, despite having one of the best defenses in the league. We got to help the defense out more, and that begins with, I don't want to say getting rid of the dead weight, but getting rid of pieces that don't really matter anymore. Joe Flacco, yes, he has a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of tutelage for the young guys, but as a starter, he's done. I don't know what the Bengals are going to do. I hope it works out well for them, but with that O-line, I'm not too sure about that. Maybe they could have got a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, or maybe Huntley. He's mobile, because Flacco's definitely not mobile, especially at his age. But besides all that, back to the Browns, like I said, I'm actually excited for this news. I think this is going to be great because it'll allow Dylan to either ball out and keep his job, or if he starts to flounder, we'll finally get to see Shedeur Sanders come out And personally, I've been waiting for him to come out. And if he gets some drives going and gets points on the board and keeps the defense well rested and keep games closer than what they've already been, because we only really got blown out by the Lions to an extent and the Ravens. We've kept it close with the Bengals. We kept it close with the Packers. We led most of the game against the Vikings. But this offense has to do more. And it also goes to the head coach, Kevin Stefanski. You need to put more plays on this board that's going to move the ball downfield. I know you're not out there running the plays and throwing the passes, making the blocks and making the catches, but you have to call a better plays to get this offense going, because this offense has been flaccid, this offense has been inept, and this offense has not been good. We need to see changes, because personally, although I know they said, oh, Kevin's safe through the next season, I'm not sure. If we continue to lose games like this, where the offense, where they have to show up and they simply don't, or they're just inept for most of the game and just too conservative, too bland in the play calling, keep getting all these penalties, ineligible receiver downfield, holding, false starts, illegal formation, offensive pass interference. We got to clean this up. We had 10 penalties against the Vikings last week. 10. No turnovers. We made them miss a field goal. The defense got 2 fumble recoveries, and we still couldn't put 20 points on the board. And we had chance after chance, especially in the second half, to blow the game wide open. I know it's not all the offense's fault, but they have to do something to get this stuff going on. We played the Steelers this week in Pittsburgh. I know it's going to be a tough game. Pittsburgh had a week off. They're well rested and ready, but their offense has been good but not great. Their defense has been, for their standards, bad, giving up between 27, 30-plus points a game. That's not Pittsburgh football, and we need to make sure it stays that way by waking this offense up and making sure that we keep the defense fresh and well rested and make sure that the offense does their thing and try to get more points on the board. So, Kevin, you got 2 rookies. All the other rookies have been doing very well. Andrew Berry, despite making some bad trades in the past, like Jerry Jeudy, for example. I don't know what he had in the Deshaun Watson trade, but that was a bust. Who else? Samake Ika, Perion Winfrey. We've had many just bad drafts and trades, but this has been his best draft class yet. And everyone seemed to have been doing their thing. So even Dylan Gabriel had flashes doing his thing. And Njoku became a part of the passing game again. He was dormant for the past 2 weeks. Quinshawn Judd has been a breath of fresh air for the running game and for the offense as well. We need to see more continuity, more success, and ultimately more points on the board, because we could easily be 3-2 right now. We could have beat the Vikings. We could have beat them. We should have beat the Bengals. We could be 3-2 behind Pittsburgh in the AFC North, but instead we're tied with the Baltimore Ravens for last place, which you could say, well, at least we're not last. Well, technically we are. We're tied for last. And the Ravens are falling apart. Their defense is non-existent. Lamar's going to be hurt for the next week, so it might be 1-5 after the Rams play them. We need to make sure we get some wins and fast, because we still have a shot in this division. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 1-4, so we could easily be 3-2, at least 2-3. We could easily, the Bengals, they're not going anywhere. Pittsburgh, they're doing their thing for now, so their schedule gets tougher. Baltimore, they're already basically finished. They could turn around, but I highly doubt it. Not with their lackluster defense, not with their inept running game. Derrick Henry hasn't been doing that much at all. Besides the game he had week 1 against the Bills, he's failed to get 60 yards for his last 4 games straight and probably counting. So this is a chance for the Browns to get their offense together, to get some points on the board. I think this QB competition is going to be great. Personally, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to see Dylan Gabriel ball out. If he doesn't, I'm looking forward to see Shedeur Sanders ball out and do his thing and get some points on the board and get us some wins and really put us on, not the upper echelon teams, but put us as a team that can actually win if you take them lightly. Not a team that if you score 20 points or more, you automatically win. If you only score 21 points, you're good. We need to get at least 24 to 27 points from here on out if we want to win some games. Because for the most part, the defense has been doing their thing. The kicker's gotten his stuff together. Punting, we got to work on that still. Bubba Patron is not safe as far as I'm concerned. But Austin Schmidt has seems to have gotten his stuff together. Andre Schmidt has seemed to got his stuff together. So he seems to be doing relatively well. He hasn't missed a kick ever since, I think, week 4 against the Lions, like a 50-something yarder. But we was already out of the game by that point anyway, or close to being out of the game by that point. So the offense can at least be above average. At least give drives of at least 6-7 plays going, get us in field goal range, keep us in games, get at least 3 points on the board every other drive, along with a touchdown here and there. We can win some games. And we're actually entering the lighter part of our schedule, starting with Miami in 2 weeks. So this is a perfect time for the Browns to get their offense together. I'm looking forward to seeing the quarterbacks, the rookies ball out, along with the rest of the rookies on offense and defense. And let's see if we can get this team in a new direction. And we also need to get the play calling in a new direction as well. These comeback routes, these stick routes, these super passive, super conservative play callings, these tight end screens, these tight end arounds and jet sweeps. Use your running backs like Jerome Ford, who thrives on east-west running. Use guys like Dylan Sampson as a slot third receiver who's been known to catch passes out the backfield. Use Fanning Jr. more as a mismatch, along with Njoku, and more 2 tight end sets that can get him out in space and get him plays and get him yards after the catch. We have some weapons, not the best weapons. No, we don't. Jerry Jeudy's not a number 1. He's a number 2, borderline number 3, masquerading as a number 1 receiver. But if you get him more plays early and get his hands on the ball and more jet sweeps and more screens, get him touches early so he can get his confidence going, along with Isaiah Bond, who I don't think has dropped a pass yet. He's been pretty good. You know, get these rookies and these second-year players going, and we can see some success on the offense and actually win some more games. Like I said, we should be 3-2, at least 2-3 right now, not 1-4. We're down, but we're not out. So I think it's an opportunity for the quarterbacks, and more importantly, the head coach on the offensive side of the ball and the coordinator, Reese, to get their stuff together and finally get some plays on the board and get our offense moving. So I'm looking forward to see how we do against the Steelers in this rivalry game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to the opportunity and the chance that it gives for us to show our stuff with the rookies and hopefully some new wrinkles in the playbook. Another week of practice with Dylan Gabriel and Stuart Sanders as second string, we can finally see some changes going. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see us hopefully beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. And that's all I got for now. So I'll talk to y'all later. And remember, go Browns.